From youth age, it's my passion of the game, and I want to play at that time when I was a kid, and I grew up. I do love to coach, and I think I like to promote the sport, and I always have a good vision to see how can we grow better players, how can we have top level players.
Welcome to the Silicon Valley Tennis Show. I will be right back.
Unleash your serve's power. Join our academy and dominate the court. Spots filling up fast. Enroll now.
Hello and welcome to the Silicon Valley Tennis Broadcast. I am hosting Francisco Ruiz, and I'm thrilled to have to join us today on a special episode. Today we have the honor of welcome a truly exceptional guest. The show is Salvador Enciso. Salvador shared his early experience in the core where he on to compete with a lot of spirit from the time of the youth age. From navigation to the junior tennis circuit to the big representative of the country on national tournaments and above Olympics, Salvador will share an amazing lesson for everyone. Um, so sit back, relax, and prepare to enlace an amazing journey and discover with Salvador. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the enrichment conversation. Hello, Salvador. How are you? How is Mexico?
Hey, Coach Pacochas. Nice to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Having a great weather right here in California, trying to share all your experience like a junior player, making sure we able to give something different to the community. And I always love to have your philosophy about the tennis sport. I know you love different sports, but I love to share this with people. Uh, One of the greatest things is to meet you again in the United States after 40 years or 45 years. We don't have to say our age, but I think it was an amazing friendship now we have created, and we always have very good topics about the sports. Share with us something about the sport that you learned from youth age. Can you tell us something? What do you think is the first piece, the value of play tennis and the value from you were a little kid? What does it give it to you?
Yeah, hi, Coach. Yeah, well, you said 45 years. I wasn't even born at that time, Coach Pacochas. Remember, that's a that's a long time. You're talking a lot of numbers. 45 years. Come on, huh? I didn't know you were a broadcaster now. So yes, you look better than Bollettieri now here on live stream. I think maybe yeah, a good broadcaster, a good tennis broadcaster, Coach Pacochas.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It's something new to create new ideas of the new generation of people. The
Yeah,
new generation like to have all these things, the new tools. So I have to upgrade my life.
yeah, that's cool. That's great. Yeah, I mean, you and me, we always we met a few years ago. I haven't seen you in a long time, but it's great that how we share that passion for tennis, and we talk a lot about everything, going from the technique that you have to use. We talk about the lifestyle. We talk about the good things about tennis. And, like you were asking me about, growing up playing tennis, I started a little bit late to play tennis. I didn't start young like other people. And I played other sports. But, yes, I agree with you. I think tennis is a great sport. It's a lifetime sport. It's one of the advantages that I see of growing up playing tennis is the friendship. The friends you make through tennis is just incredible. I think up until now, most of my best friends are tennis players, are the guys that I knew playing as a junior or when I played in college. So I think that's the best thing that you can have, more than telling children that, or maybe pushing them to want to be a professional player. That's very nice. That's like winning the lottery if you have the skills and everything. But more than that, I think it's about having fun. It's about enjoying the game and really, really having fun. You can have a chance to be in the sun all day with your friends and stuff. So yeah, we've talked a lot about that, Coach Pacochas.
Hey, so tell me, Salvador, what is one of your most amazing things in education in the sports? Because you like different sports. Your nephews play very good sport. They play college baseball. What do you think is the education in the sport related to tennis? What it would recommend to parents? What it would be great to experience with people? I remember the day that you were coaching one time to the kids, and you tell them that you should bring the radio. They should be more happier. Explain to me a little bit more the education about the sport. Can you help me in that one, please?
I think what you get most of the sport is discipline. The discipline of waking up early, doing your routine, going to sleep early, and the discipline of learning. Okay, listening to the coach and learn to learn, because yes, sometimes they'll go and they'll train, they'll take a class for an hour, but some of them really are not listening. So you have to learn to listen to what the coaches are saying. So that's discipline, and that applies to everything in life. I believe that those things, if you learn those, they'll help you when you're studying in college, when you're working, or if you have a business. It teaches you basically discipline, and also to deal with hard times, because you're not going to win every game. Tennis, most of the time, I think you lose more than you win. So it teaches you how to deal with those things in your personal life and your professional life and everything. So I think that's the best thing that you can get from it. And on top of that is, like we've talked, is having fun. I think that's the most important thing. Just going out there and having fun, enjoy your friends, and enjoy everything. Because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's just a game. That's all it is, right?
Yes, yes, this is what it is today, you know. But what do you think about the new tennis players? The commitment that they have, and how the new players with the technology, it makes a big difference. What is your opinion about that? You would like to go to Acapulco, Mexico, to the big tournament that's coming on next week, beginning February 26th. It's great. You have, I think, 12 players in the top 20 in the world coming. Are you going to be there? Are you going to be doing all this? Tell me, Francisco, the way they move, the forehand, how they hit. What are your expectations about next week in Mexico, Acapulco?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think tennis has changed a lot from the time we played until now. The top guys, I'd say, like even the top 100, top 50 guys. Well, for one thing, they're taller. I think the average height for them is like in meters 188, which is like 6'2" is the average size. You have guys that are 6 feet, 6'1". So they're bigger, number one. Number two, they're more athletic now. Guys are much, much more athletic than before, because you look at all these guys, and they can play some other sports. They can play soccer, or they play basketball, or they can play football. So that's another thing. Athletic wise, they have more abilities now. And number three, the preparation that you need to play tennis at a professional level is very, very different from before, because now they take it, I think, more seriously. They prepare themselves more like athletes. So yeah, the game, has really changed. You look at guys, how they hit. And then also the biomechanics of the game has changed a lot. There's a lot of technique, biomechanics involved, so you can hit the ball harder with more pace, with the more spin, with the serve also. So you take all these things into consideration. And yes, it's not the same sport that we used to play with, that you used to play with wooden rackets, right? I remember you walking around
With the one that you have in the bag,
right?
the one that you have in
Like
the
one
bag.
here,
That's
see,
beautiful.
like the ones I have right here, wooden rackets. Yeah,
Amazing.
my collection of wooden rackets. So the technology also has changed in rackets. I mean, rackets are now amazing. There's a big difference from when we used to play with those wood rackets. I mean, sorry, you used to play with those wood rackets. Right?
Hey, Salva, one of the greatest things I always talking to you, when you are very precise in what you eat, even in your young age that you were like that, or when did you learn to eat better? Like you say, I eat salmon, I do my exercise every morning, I do my TRX. Tell me more, because this is what the young people need. They need to have that discipline of the food. What water? You say, I need to drink more water. You bring your towel to the courts. Tell me more. When did you start learning this?
Well, I started learning. I had a bad health situation when I was relatively young, so I learned a little bit of nutrition, about what to eat, what not to eat, what's good for you, what's bad. And I think with health and in tennis also, you can't put your health in the hands of somebody. You have to be learning on what's good for you, and just also have the discipline on keep doing it. And I mean, when people say, "Oh, I'm on a diet," I don't think there should be a thing as a diet. It's just like you have to learn new ways of eating. If you learn how to eat properly, then you don't have to worry about, getting on a diet at a certain time. So all these things help you at the end, because you'll keep learning. You're always learning. In life, there's no such thing as that. Oh, I learned everything now. You keep learning. Any age, there's always something new to learn. Like Rafa Nadal says, even Rafa, he says, I'm always learning and improving my tennis. This is like one of the best player in the world, number one in the world. And he says, I'm still learning. I'm still improving beforehand. And same goes with nutrition. Your nutrition, your mental attitude, your emotions. You always have to be learning. So yes, nowadays there's so much information just on the internet that you can be very, very, you can learn a lot just from the information that's out there, nutrition wise, what's good for you, what's bad for you, and all the other aspects of the tennis game. I mean, this game is so complex that you would have to need a whole team of professionals in each specialty to help you.
Mental attitude. You bring another big thing, I think, in the sport. The mental thing. Tell me anything about the experience with the mental. How can we make it work more, because you have an amazing personality? I see you interact with different players. Where is your mental philosophy? What do you think we should do, like a coaches to the young players, to make them better?
Well, yes, it's very popular now. It's very popular to say that you have to be at the present moment, you know, to to avoid all these feelings that you get on the court. You can be anxious, you can be nervous, you can panic, You have all these sense of emotions. So you have to practice them. You have to practice them. And I've read a lot of things, and everyone approaches and everyone uses different styles to be in a mental state where it can be in the present moment. And whichever you use, either be focused on your breathing, okay, or recognizing your body. Or I was reading the other day, like Sinner, this Italian guy, he changed his attitude on the court because he decided to smile more and to have fun. And for me, it was
That's
like,
good.
dude, it is, because if you see him play, I don't know if you've seen him play, sometimes when he hits a ball like bad or a good ball, he's like enjoying. He's like a kid that you see himself really having a good time. You know, he's smiling. So whatever works, you have to practice it. You have to practice it. You have to enjoy the game. You have to like recall, because tennis is about feeling. It's how you feel the ball. It's not like how hard, how run you fast. So when you hit the ball, you have to feel it. And you feel when you're going to make an ace. You feel when the ball has space and spin. You feel it. So you have to learn to work with those emotions and have those emotions at the right time when you're playing. So yeah, and you have to practice it. I mean, it's very easy to say right now, but to practice it is another different thing. But I would say, I would start with that, having fun in the game. Just enjoy it. Don't pressure yourself about I have to win, I have to do this, I have to do that. And you'll probably agree with me. The best players are always the ones also that enjoy the game the most. You're out there to have fun.
Correct.
Not to suffer.
Correct. I heard stories from people that know you. When you used to come to the Bay Area, to Palo Alto, you used to practice 3-4 hours, get something in 7-Eleven, and come back to train again. Tell me more about that. How, when you were 15, 16, how old are you when you start coming to the Bay Area and play and meet some people in the park? Tell me more about that. How did you used to do it? How did you make it happen?
Yeah, well, I started playing relatively older. I started when I was 14, and I started in the summer. Just when the summer started, I started playing tennis. Okay, so I believe that summer, I don't think I was in the U.S., but since my family lives over there, I would go during the summers, and I would play at a very famous place in the Bay Area. It was called Mitchell Park. So I'd love that place because we were like a group of 15 people that they would all play hard. Some of them, a lot of them, a lot of them went out to play college tennis, D1, D2, junior college. And yes, everyone was very intense. Since I started older, I would make numbers in my head. I would say, okay, this guy started when he was 8, and then he would practice 2 hours a day. I start when I'm 14. Then maybe if I train 3-4 hours and 2 more than them, then I can reach their level. Somewhere I read that you have to practice like 1,000 hours. So yeah, in the summer, I think I would play like 5 hours a day. I play like 2-3 hours in the morning, and then we'd come back in the afternoon. We'd play 3 more hours. But we all did that. Everyone was very, very intense about it. It would have helped maybe if there was a coach there, but we were all a little bit self-taught. I hit my forehand, pretty much like the modern game, a little bit of open stance, semi-Western grip. But yeah, fortunately, I took some classes, but it's not like right now that you have a lot of access to coaches. And also you have access to a lot of information that simply you can see on the internet how to hit a forehand, how to hit a backhand, how to hit a serve. And also you have this technology that you can record yourself, and you say, oh, this is horrible. How am I hitting this? What is this? Do I actually go on a court and hit like that? So now with this technology, you can grab a phone, video yourself, and say, hey, I don't hit that bad, or I hit it pretty good, or I look cool, or whatever. See, all these things help. Yeah, we used to have a really, really good group out there. that we would play all day. I don't know. I don't know where we got the energy from.
Yeah, the energy comes all the time. Did you still have your Prince racket? Like you said, this is the right racket for my forehand, and this is the right racket for my weight. Did you still play with that Prince racket, or what did you use in that?
Well, in those days, I used to play with the Dunlop Black Max. When I was a junior,
Okay.
I played with that one, and that's
Uh-huh.
the last good racket I had. Then lately, nowadays, I've been playing with Prince for the last 8, 9 years. Okay, because I think it's very soft. I really like it for my current play style. But the ones that you gave me, those Dunlop Black Max, I played with them, and they're incredible. Also, those are yes. It's, like I said, it's about feeling. It's how you feel the ball. There's no better racket, right? There's no such thing as, oh, this is the best racket. This is the best racket for me, for my strokes, for my type of play. And at the end of the day, how you feel it, how you feel the strings, what makes sense for you. That's why you have to try
Yes.
and see how you feel them. Yeah, that's funny that you knew that. We used to hang out in the summer in Mitchell Park.
As what I heard. I heard from a couple of your friends that I know them, and they tell me that you used to be there playing all the time, and that was, and I think there's something the juniors don't do anymore. I think for whatever reason they don't take that commitment to play and go find out. Hey, can I play a challenge match against you? Can I just play just a match? And I think match play, that's the most important in the sport. You learn to use your technique. You learn to use your shots, how to play the game. You know, you belong to one country club in Mexico. How often did you play with people there and you just play like a set, so you just rally points? How often did you do things like that?
I should play more sets, I think, but I like to train. I like to improve my technique. I like to do drills. I do more of that. I do more like training, and I like to help like younger players also play. Yeah, but I should play a little bit more match play. Yes, I think match play absolutely helps a lot. But in order to have match play, also, I think you have to do those drills. You have to do, hundreds and hundreds of backhands because backhands is a shot that everyone like struggles with. So you have to go out there and then just do 1,000 backhands against the wall. Hitting against the wall is great. So once you have the strokes down, when you have your strokes down, then it's easier to have a match play. And then like there was a coach that used to say, there was a coach, this American coach, I don't remember his name. Uh, he used to say, "You choke because you don't have the stroke." And that's true, isn't it? Because it just gives
Yeah,
you more
it's true.
confidence. If something's not good in your game, and then all of your game goes bad because you lose confidence. Let's say you don't have a good forehand. If you're not hitting good your forehand, then you lose confidence on your backhand or the backhand, the other way around. So yes, you know that, Coach Bollettieri. Oh, I mean Coach Pacochas.
Okay, a good question. How important you think today, you just say something else, train. How important is the conditioning, the
Oh,
movement?
conditioning. Oh yeah. Oh, conditioning. Conditioning and footwork is all speed. Those drills that you do like with cones and lines. That's I think that's where you improve the most of your game. Once your strokes get at a certain level, the way to upgrade your game is footwork. That
Okay.
takes that really takes you to another level. That if you do all the work outside of the court, that really helps you because you get to more balls. You get to more balls in a good position to to be in an offensive position. So yeah, because if you get all the balls right here, you can hit out of them, but you have to run, to other sides and get there. You might get there, but you might not get there well positioned. But if you get there well positioned and on time, you can make, you can hit a ball with more pace and a winner or more of an offensive ball. right?
I like it when you I like it when you say in the beginning the new technology. Do you think kids today's day they do the footwork, the videotape themselves, how they run, and the videotape themselves, how to settle to hit the forehand, close the stand, open the stance. But I think the technology, like you say in the beginning, is amazing. What you would recommend to young players, to parents? What it will be a good direction to go? Because this is the idea about this show. I want to teach parents to learn when they have a good coach, when they have a good training. Some coaches maybe they are good just for the beginning, but they have to grow. What do you think it takes to become to be a good coach using the technology, and what if we can help parents to make it better? What is your opinion?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think you start out with the student would have to learn that he's a student of the game and a teacher of the game, because in a way you teach yourself too, and the parents also. They have to be a student, even if they don't play. They have to be students of the game so they can understand the game and better for their children. And it depends on what they want. Everyone has different expectations, because not everyone wants to maybe go to college and play D1, D2, D3, or not everyone wants to be a professional. Or if they want to be a professional, they have to understand that, in my view, is like winning the lottery. Not everyone's going to be a professional, is because
Yes.
not everyone has the skills. Okay, so I mean, you could try, you can have that mission, but really just enjoy the process. They have to like really enjoy the process. So it really does depends on what they want to do. And for parents is that I guess that applies in all sports. They want to be the coach too, so they have to learn. That's why they hire a coach. So they have to let the coach do what the coach knows how to do. Yeah, and then when they're playing tournaments,
Yes.
also they have to let the kid out there, not pressure him, not say anything to the judges or anything. So they have to, yeah. I think maybe a good idea as coaches would have like sessions for parents. You know, once
Okay.
they're at a certain level, maybe you can have like a small session, for parents. Okay, this is how you have to behave. This is what you have to expect. This is court etiquette, because some people, think it's like another sport, and they'll be screaming and they'll be doing this, or they'll be walking in the court in the middle of the point. A little bit of maybe tennis etiquette, and just teach them a little bit about the sport. I think, and I mean, you have all the experience to do that. That would be great. I think that would be great. Have like sessions with parents, like every once in a while, before you start, or the ones that are starting, have sessions with them so they can learn all these things. That would be a good idea, Coach.
How long do you think it takes to stop learning in the game? Many people, many coaches I know, oh, this is the only way to do it. Do you think it's only one way to do coaching, or is different ways to do coaching? More because you help so many people around in Mexico, you help them to become to be a tennis players, and when you come to the United States, you step in and give them suggestions. What do you think? Is there only one way to teach, or is so many different ways to teach?
Oh no, I think there's a lot of ways to teach. I mean, there's a lot of ways to teach, and because yes, it's so complex. It's so complex of a sport that the message might be the same one, okay, but the way that you want to communicate that message is different, and some are better than others. You can be telling someone, prepare, turn your shoulders in a way, you know and some kids won't get it, but someone tell them, okay, move this hand, try to with your left hand, try to touch the fence, and then the kid says, oh, okay, that's easy. Okay, but if you tell them, no, rotate your shoulders, and then no, rotate your shoulders, they might not get it that easily. So the way you communicate is, I think it's very, very, very important. And then you have on the other side people that are really good for playing tennis. You can have like a kid that just graduated from college, played D1 and whatever. He's a really, really good player, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he knows how to teach. Okay. So I've seen guys that are really, really good players, but they don't even know the technique. They know how to use it, but they're not, aware of how you're supposed to hit it. And obviously they don't have the preparation to teach the right way to hit a ball. So yes, it's very complex. There's tons of different ways. I mean, you probably remember the really, really good coaches we had here in Mexico. We had some really good, like Pajarito Reyes. He was a guru. The top tennis players of Mexico would go and see him. He was like incredible to teach. And his daughter, that just passed away recently, some coaches are really specific that some players will be struggling with a stroke for months and months, and someone in 15 minutes will tell you, no, do this and do that. Oh, I was watching how Andy Roddick helped Coco Gauff with her serve in just like half an hour. In half an hour, he told her, you should do this and you should do that.
Wow.
So yes, there's no recipe to teach. There's several recipes. It might be the same message.
Correct.
It might be the same message, but the way that you communicate that message is important. How do you make that person understand and apply that? And you're always learning.
Think about this. Always learning. Think about this right now. In one of your favorite tournaments, I go back again, Acapulco, Mexico. You go there every year. You see the difference from the past 6 years to today, how much power the players making in the ball, and what are they doing different? Besides the technology, what did you notice when you see these players today, how they play? The game is the same, but what is make a difference in the new game? Tell me more about that.
Technically, I think the mechanics, the biomechanics has changed. I mean, if you look, a guy like Carlos Alcaraz, he's not that big of a guy, but he just biomechanically, he puts all the weight on the ball so the ball can, really, really get more power, more pace from that. And that's just biomechanics. It puts all the body, his waist, his shoulders, his swing, everything is much more, I would say, athletic. If you just look at them, they're very, very, very athletic. The way they hit him, or a guy like Tommy Paul, or just the power they have, how they feel. If you have a chance to just see him right up close, you'll see that their whole body, they're not just hitting with the arm, they're hitting that ball with a technique that allows their whole body to go into the ball, and that's why it has so much weight.
Wow.
I think someone that's not a tennis expert, someone that knows a little bit about baseball or something, just by looking at him, you'll see, wow, the person's putting all the weight of their body into the ball.
Yes, so it's a new sport, I think. The way the players prepare, attacking, taking the ball earlier, even I think the swings have changed. Roger Federer changed his swing. Today we see Alcaraz, Isner. We see top-level players taking the ball so heavy and early. You're always watching tennis. I know this is your favorite channel. Well, what do you think is going to be the number one player this year? I know you're always looking for tennis matches to see. What do you think? Who's going to be the number one?
Well,
Give me a number.
I think Sinner's going to be end up number one. I think Sinner has everything. Wow. If he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's going to be absolute. His mental attitude, he has the size, the technique. Oh, he has everything. He's absolutely one of them. And I think Alcaraz, if he's in good shape, he still has a lot of improvement in his game. I think Alcaraz, has to improve his serve, but I think Sinner is the one who's going to be finishing numero uno, Coach Pacochas. Numero uno.
Numero uno. But what are you going to do with Djokovic? Djokovic will be there one more year, I believe. Maybe two.
Yeah, maybe, but I think he have the new generation, the age. He has a really, really good coach now, and really a good coach. Darren Cahill is the new coach of Jannik Sinner, so he's really good at preparing players at that level, because there's different coaches that take you to different levels,
Correct.
and Cahill is a guy that knows how to that's why he won the Australian Open with this new coach, and I'm sure that he'll guide him to stay there.
You into visualizations and breathing. You meditate. I know you do yoga. Tell me more about that. How can we implement something like this in the sports? Tell me more.
Yeah, well, I think not only for the sport, it calms the mind, and just like for everything, just for your life in general, doing yoga and doing meditation, getting your brain to get in that frequency where it's calm, it's healthier. Yeah, it's good for everything, just for everyday life. It's really, really good. Yeah, I practice it on and off, not always, but I think like when I've been able to train for long periods of time, several months, that I'm healthy, athletic, and I'm fit, and I do yoga, I think that's when I play the best. I haven't
Okay.
been playing tournaments a lot lately, but a time when I was playing ITFs and stuff, when I was in that state of mind, you have to have all of them. Athletic, healthy, mental, everything. It absolutely helps, because tennis is 80% mental, 85% mental.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think this is a very good point. Do you think the mental is more important than the technique?
I think at a certain point, yes. I think so. I
Very
mean,
good.
I think at a certain point. So for the average player, just average good skills, the techniques gets you there. Yeah, I mean, unless you're one of those guys that are gifted, that are really don't need. Some people that don't have like a really good technique, or awkward technique, like Danny Medvedev. Look at him play, and if you look at his technique, you would never think he's number 2 in the world, or he's won a Grand Slam. Okay, but if you
Uh-huh.
have the right technique among certain circumstances, similar circumstances, the mental part's the difference. If you look at top 100 players rally, if you just see them rally practicing, you don't notice which one's 5 and which one's 100, because they all have the same pace, the same power, the serve, they all move well. So the strokes are there. The only difference is the mental part as you progress in the game. And not only I say that, I hear these broadcasters like you say that, on the Tennis Channel and the ESPN and wherever.
How can we help people to have a mental plan, mental strategy? You like a coach, like a player, where it will be good to teach the players how they can learn to have the mental. How can we do something like that?
Well, I mean, there's different techniques for meditation. So I think that one thing is that you would find the one that suits you and practice it every day. The same way you go jogging, or the same way you could go to the gym, or the same way you do jump rope to prepare for your tennis matches and your part of your training. The meditation, do 20 minutes, half hour of meditation in the morning or before going to sleep. It's not like an overnight thing, but yes, I mean, look at Andy Murray. Andy Murray at one point uh, started doing yoga, and his game improved so much Djokovic also does some form of meditation,
Yeah.
but they do it on a daily basis. And who else? I was reading someone else that was doing some. Oh, this guy that's a 42-year-old guy from India that just won the doubles season.
Yes.
42-year-old guy. That guy does yoga. He does Iyengar yoga because there's hatha yoga. There's Kundalini yoga. There's several types of yoga that it sort of has a component of meditation. So yes, a lot of them do. A lot of them do yoga. So you have
Oh,
to
I'm,
ask
I'm
them
gonna make I'm gonna make sure maybe this summer I will have a yoga instructor in the academy. I'm trying to figure out always how can I make the academy better and how can I make the players understand more about the sport. I think that will be very good, putting some instructor of yoga. You know, when you come to Silicon Valley, always I feel it's great because you have an amazing way to communicate to parents, talking to all the people there. You are a great fit for the program when you're around. That's wonderful. That will be great. Always listen to your stories about the sport. I really enjoy it. What you can tell me about the last piece, which I think is the most difficult for players? You say commitment, wake up early. How can we help the players in that? Just give me that piece. In your experience, how can we help kids to understand they have to do themselves and play more the sport without the pressure of the parents? And give me a tool about that, because you start playing, like you said, older. You start in the age of 14, but you love the game. You motivate to play. Many of the players, they don't understand the sport and how you got connected to the sport. This is a good point to ask you. How you got connected to tennis?
Yeah, well, I think that's a good question. I think, well, depends. You would have to ask them what their expectations are, what they want to do, because like I mentioned earlier, not everyone wants to be a top player. Maybe not everyone wants to go pro, or not everyone wants to go and play college. So you have to start from there because then their motivation is different. So, so I think there's two types of players. One of them that don't need that motivation from the outside, like you or me, for example. I think you were much more motivated. I mean, you kept playing, you went to the US, this and that. But I mean, no one ever told me. I mean, I would play 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever. I nonstop, and I wanted to learn, and I wanted to take lessons. I went to an Adidas tennis camp, and I would sign up. See, I was like pushing myself. Okay, I had never had pressure of my parents. So, oh, you go and practice. I wanted to go and practice by myself. So I think if you identify those that are self-motivated, that's one thing. And then the other involves, I believe, a good coach and the parents also. And that's where I say, well, but you have to understand what the parents want to do also. Because if the parents don't want to take their kids to tournaments all over the state or all over the country, don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning for the tournaments to stay there all day and then eat whatever is available, then because if you don't have the support of the parents, how is the kid going to do that? Unless he wants to do that and he tags on with other parents and they take him or her to the tournaments to practice and this and that. So I think there's different approaches, and once
Okay.
you identify those, I would like tell the parents to. It's more of a parent thing. Each parent has different ways of communicating with their children. I can tell you the experience of like one of my sisters with one of her children would tell her, look, if I'm going to take you to practice, but if you don't give it 110%, I'm not going to bring you. I'm going to go do my stuff. I'm going to do yoga, go coffee with my friends or whatever, because I'm not going to waste my time all the afternoon to take you there to be the last one doing laps, for being lazy there all afternoon. So if I'm going to take you, I want you to have a really, really good attitude, 110, 120%. So that attitude with my nephew, it changed. From there, I would go and see him, and he would like be the first one on the field, the last one there, the first one doing laps, very intense. So you want to have so you have to take them to that point where not only do they just go to the practice field, to the tennis court, but they take advantage of the whole hour. You don't want someone that's just, but maybe you do want. I mean, some kids will do that. Not everyone's gonna, is driven the same way. So I think it's a combination of things.
No, but I have to say, with you are an amazing person with your nephews. They love you. They love you to be around them when they go to these camps, and when they play their own sport that has nothing really to do with tennis. They have to do, they play baseball. They love you to be around them. And that's the way you're thinking. And I think you come down people like a coach, you come down to them and you make them get better. Think about how many uncles wish their nephew call them and say, can you join me to this training camp for the nationals? Can you join me to do this? And I think this is why your sister, maybe they like you so much, because they have very good support, like an uncle, to take their children and support them like a coach. I think this is very important when you have a good coach around you, or when you have a good mentor, when you have a great mindset like you have. I think your mindset like a person is amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Every time I talk to you, yeah, every time I talk to you about the sports and you see the kids and I see you communicating, it's like, wow. I say, I learned something from you. I learned something from every coach, and it's something like it's great. Like you tell me sometimes, hey, can you do this? I'm learning, and I'm always learning. This is wonderful. You have one more niece. She competing top level in the nation. Um, Tell me more about that competition that she do. I don't know what is her ranking. Tell me more about your niece. That she travel all over the United States? Well, I don't know if she travel all over the world. How do you think she prepared mentally to go in that direction?
Oh yeah. Well, she's been very successful. She does professional horse jumping. Okay, so yeah, she travels in the U.S. She's traveled outside also, but yes, like I said, oh, she's like a real example. She takes care of her nutrition. She takes care of her training. She has a mental coach. She works at it. So brings me back to what I was telling you before. She's like self-motivated. All these things, she's the one that learns. She knows. She asks her parents. So she's involved. She knows what you need to get there. And yeah, she's very involved in that. And her parents support her and motivate her and have her back, because but they're never in a position, oh, you have to wake up, or you have to eat this, or you have to there's never pressure. I mean, I think if she wouldn't want to, she would want to stop doing that. They'd say, okay, it's fine, find something that you want to do. Okay, so number one is no pressure on what they want to do. When they want to do something, they'll find the resources and what for what they need.
Good. I love it. I love it. Do you think parents is one of the most difficult piece for the kids? Because you, like you say, you play because you like it. Your parents never pressure you. Do you think this is one of the biggest things for young children, the pressure the parents put into them?
Oh yes, I think parents. Yeah, actually, one of my parents pressured me not to play. He didn't want me to. He pressured me not to play. Go to school, study. I don't see you with any books, this and that. So it was inverse pressure, you know. So I had to find ways of getting rackets, getting coaches, getting this, getting that, you know. So yes, but I think parents play a big role. I mean, parents should get like 50%. If you talk to any talk as far as tennis, you know, tennis players, any top players or anyone that's been successful, collegiate level, junior level, parents are there. They're responsible for that. 50% of it, I think, is the parents.
Wow, 50. So, and do you think the other piece is the mental? So we go number one, let's put in characteristics. Number one, mental number one, parents number two, talent. Well, what do you think is talent? What is the talent of the player?
Talent, well, oh Jesus, I think talent is all. I think talent, number one talent, I think is discipline.
Okay.
Talent number one is discipline. Because you see a lot of talented players, even at the professional level, you know, they're very talented, but they don't really put in the hard work. They're not as disciplined. And there's other players that maybe as juniors weren't as talented, but they put in the hard work. They're more disciplined. They work on their footwork. They work on their strokes. They work on their technique, their nutrition. They probably do meditation or they do yoga. They put in the hard work. So they put all the hard work. So even maybe with less tennis talent, someone that has an ability, some people are like born with the racket. They just have to touch naturally. They can just grab a racket and hit a ball, and it comes easy for them. So yes, that really helps. But if they don't have the discipline and they don't have the work ethic, it won't take them. So I think talent is.
I think this is something about the broadcast today, discipline, that I think the parents need to understand. The children has to have a very good discipline and love for the game. When the kid love the game, love to compete, it's going to make big difference to them. And I think, like, I go back again, when you come to Silicon Valley and you're talking to parents, I could see the passion that you have to introduce them to compete, to be able to practice even harder, you know, for your experience and to do different sports. Because I know you have done different activities in the sport. This is something wonderful. Salvador, like always, it has been an amazing time to be talking to you. I'm looking forward to see you in the summer. You know, I'm waiting for you here at Mountain View. It will be great. It has been a pleasure listening to your love for the game. The way you present in the sport is very, very good. It's a pleasure to have you. And don't forget, continue looking for us. Next week we will have a different player. I think we will have a Spanish player on the broadcasting. We will have the Tennis Federation jumping in next 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. The community, you are into community. You like to find different ways to do activities. The last word. First, I want to say thank you. What do you think we should do next? What is the expectations for Pacocha Silicon Valley Tennis to make a difference? You know, tell me the last piece of the words.
Yeah, well, thank you, Paco Chesio, for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to share some of the things that we usually talk about when we're over there. No, but I think you do a great job there with parents. They're fun. The children that I see over there are incredible. So maybe work a little bit with parents more and see what their expectations are. See what they want, what their goals are, and because they have to be aligned with your program has to be aligned with what the parents want, what they want to do. So I think those sessions that we're mentioning would be good, because it's all a matter of communication and understanding their needs. And once you understand their needs, you can tailor programs for them or know or know what they'll expect from you.
Yes, I agree. Tell me something more in the end about the rackets behind you. I know you have a Dunlop Black Max over there behind you. I know you have a collection. Or what do you have in the back? Tell me a little bit.
Oh, these in the back, it's a collection. They're all brand new. They're never used. Well, they're not brand new, but they've never used. So that's a Dunlop Max Ply McEnroe. That's a wooden racket that John McEnroe used to have. That, by the way, was just his birthday. 16th of
I
February.
know.
Yeah. So happy birthday to John McEnroe if you're seeing us. Huh? Maybe he's gonna watch our podcast.
Yes.
I'll say happy birthday to him. Yeah. So I have a collection of 5 of them.
Yeah.
They're brand new. So I put them up in this thing here. So yeah, it looks cool. It's my piece of art. I'm an artist too.
It looks beautiful.
Looks great, huh? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I love it.
It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I know, and we can talk more. I know you have different design about different rackets that you take for the Indians in Oaxaca to put a tape. It's beautiful art what you do with the tennis rackets.
Yeah, we can do another podcast some other day with those rackets. I'll show it to you.
Oh, that is something parents will love it. I think people that like collection of rackets, yes,
Yeah.
you have an amazing thing that you do. But
Yeah,
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, Salvador, to join me today. And I'm looking forward to see you. And thank you to everybody to listen to Silicon Valley Tennis broadcast to make it better. And I hope so parents listening to me to make sure the first thing is introduce your children to love the game and to learn to compete, learn to train. And with parents need to get different information. No one coach is correct. It's different ways to play, but the best that fit to your children, this is the most important for the future of the career of your children. Thank you for listening to us, and I'm looking forward for next week.
Yeah, my pleasure.
From youth age, it's my passion of the game, and I want to play in that time when I was a kid, and I grew up. I do love to coach, and I think I like to promote the sport, and I always have a good vision to see how can we grow better players, how can we have top level players,